Thanks very much, Chair, and thanks to all the witnesses. Many of us will have heard the details of the crisis as it currently exists, but it's kind of stark, and particularly when you hear about a 43% increase from Christina Sherlock in the experience of people seeking help. It's really striking that however bad the COVID experience has been for many of us, it's been worse for some of us. And I'm particularly also struck by what Alison Graham said about having to refuse 369 requests. I think that's a shocking figure. I must say I wasn't aware of how many counties were without refuges. Coming from Dún Laoghaire, I'm aware that Dún Laoghaire doesn't have one, and I would have thought that we were the most populous area without one. It's something I've raised with the Minister, and I know there was a review earlier this year. I'm still unclear on what the outcome of that is, but I'm conscious of what Katrina Bentley said about their men being both 1 in 3 of the victims and also not seeking refuge. And I'm wondering, Katrina, if I could ask you in the first instance, there is no male refuge, am I right, anywhere in the country? Is this something we need to address, or do you feel that it will actually be a useful tool to you in dealing with your requests for help?
Thank you, Senator. Firstly, you're correct. There is no refuge in Ireland for men. Zero bed. So it's a stark reality. I think men find it difficult to come forward because they know that there are no supports there. They know that there's no accommodation. So there's, I suppose, what we call the invisible man. It's like the hidden homeless. Since even in the last couple of days, I've actually key worked a gentleman myself since Thursday, because when he got in contact, the situation was so dire. And we're such a small team. I've actually key worked him myself Thursday, Friday. We knew he was going to be made homeless on Sunday, and we actually got him some emergency counselling as well. And it's only through the heart of somebody, a landlord's kindness, is actually stopping him from going to the streets. And the streets isn't the answer, because he's actually in the fog of domestic violence and fleeing an abusive relationship, and there's other complexities as well. So this is where we're trying to kick in and find solutions, and emergency, as Mary just said there, at this point the crisis is there. He's been in this situation actually locally for 2 years, but it took him 2 years to actually come forward and ring our helpline. And there's also children and there's grandparents involved as well. So it's really so catastrophic for the whole family. It's disappointing that we're going into Christmas of 2021 and we don't, as a country, have accommodation and options for all victims. It's absolutely shocking that there is nothing for men. We're based in Navan, and we are increasing our outreach services across Monaghan, Cavan, Navan, Trim, Dundalk between now and February, because we had so much suicide ideation in January of last year, after the Christmas. So we are where we are. We can only go forward, but I think what the important thing is to start giving it confidence and encouragement to the male victim, to come forward to seek help and to start that conversation. And case by case, we will work one by one, and link in with our colleagues and see what's possible. We are where we are, Senator, but I remain hopeful, and I have to.
Yeah, well, thanks very much, and thanks for the work you do, because you talk about the invisible man. I think it's definitely an issue that's been highlighted here. Can I ask Christina Sherlock, just in respect of a comment that you made about the Gardaí and the training and the Garda domestic abuse policy, do you feel that there is sufficient training there? I mean, if be it a man or a woman goes to a Garda station in the morning seeking assistance, what are the chances that they're going to meet a Garda who is A, trained properly and understands the needs, B, is going to be sympathetic, and C, is going to take it seriously? Is that still an issue, or do we need to invest in greater training for the Gardaí, or how do you see the situation as it currently stands?
Thanks for the question. It brings me back to a conversation I had with somebody who said that she was lucky she got the Garda that she did, because she got so much support from them. The best response, it really supported her through her journey through the legal system and to eventually becoming safe and free from her abuser. And it shouldn't come down to somebody being lucky that they've got the guard that understands, the guard that gets it. So we certainly see the need for a comprehensive training for all members of Garda Síochána. At best at the moment, I think it is ad hoc And I think that the pandemic has interrupted some of the training that may have been planned. So I think there's an urgent need to, to start that training again and to fully resource it, and that it should reach all members of An Garda Síochána, so that anybody who rings the guards gets the same response and the same understanding and the same support that they need. I think that there are issues with the guards. Again, going back to our national helpline figures for last year, I think 2/3 of callers mentioned that they find the response from the Gardaí helpful, but 1/3 said that it was unhelpful. And that unhelpful response can be such a block to someone moving forward and becoming safe. And everybody should feel that when they ring the guards, the call will be answered and acted upon as well. And we know that there's been recent stories around the calls, the issue of 999 calls not being responded and logged properly as domestic violence calls. So yeah, lots of work to be done there still. And I think that, sorry, just to add that obviously there was an enhanced response during the COVID-19 pandemic, which was really, really heartening to see as a frontline service provider. We really did feel that the guards were there beside us responding, and they are the first line of response in a lot of cases. And we just feel that that kind of response, that understanding, that level of seriousness given to the issue should be matter of course now. We don't want to go back to the way it was.
Briefly just ask, when you say 1 in 3 calls is unhelpful, what does unhelpful look like?
Unhelpful can be perhaps not responding, not when the woman is maybe told that they will get a call out and no one ever shows up. It can be if someone does call out that, it can be they might take the perpetrator of abuse into another room and the woman into another room and, just say, look, can you not sort it out yourselves here? Maybe just calm down, maybe we'll take him for a walk, but, we'll let him go down. So not treating it as the very serious issue that it is. And it can also be where there are protective orders in place under the Domestic Violence Act, not acting on breaches of those orders. So if someone breaks the terms of their orders by showing up at a place they shouldn't be, or trying to gain access to the house, or putting someone in fear of their safety, that again, those breaches are not treated as serious and not treated as the criminal matters that they are.